Storm Chaser and Twisted Timbers are two hybrid roller coasters created by Rocky Mountain Construction. These two roller coasters share some similarities by featuring the downward barrel roll drop, have that trick track double up maneuver, their layouts stay close to the ground with strong bursts of ejector airtime. The one major difference is that Twisted Timbers has a few hundred more feet of track than Storm Chaser. Storm Chaser, which is at Kentucky Kingdom, opened in 2016, and Twisted Timbers, which is at King's Dominion, opened in 2018. Before we get into the heat of this coaster duel, I just want to throw out a friendly reminder to go check out my Instagram and/or TikTok account. I post daily content, and it's also a great place to stay up to date with my latest ventures. To start things off, let's talk about the ride stats. Storm Chaser is 100 feet tall, has 2,744 feet of track, 2 inversions with a max speed of 52 miles per hour. Twisted Timbers is 111 feet tall, has 3,361 feet of track, 3 inversions with a max speed of 54 miles per hour. Twisted Timbers takes a clean sweep in all 4 stats. Outside of the track length, I was rather surprised how close these ride stats are. Both roller coasters are pretty similar in speed and height, with Twisted Timbers having that additional inversion. Twisted Timbers earns a half point for each stat, giving the coaster a total of 2 points. Presentation and theming. I think this is a no-brainer. Storm Chaser has virtually no theming, and the area surrounding the coaster lacks something to be desired. I've been saying this for a while, but the foliage and whatnot surrounding Storm Chaser looks bad. The ride looks like it was built in an abandoned lot. Hopefully now that Herschend has taken over management of the park, we will see some much needed improvements to this department. Twisted Timbers, on the other hand, looks nice. The theming, which is that of an apple orchard that got attacked by an alien substance, I mean that whole meteor crater and whatnot. The storyline isn't as important as the interesting props scattered throughout the queue and station. Twisted Timbers is located right next to a wooded area, so the foliage looks nice and fitting. Storm Chaser might have a nice zero car design with a twister and everything, but the old truck design on Twisted Timbers looks so much better. Twisted Timbers earns this point. The view. Okay, so I've had this category in every duel, so why stop here when it seems not relevant? Because it is rather pointless. Both roller coasters aren't super tall attractions, so you can't see that far. There is more to see of the lift hill on Storm Chaser, but it's of the busy street and stores that lead to the park entrance. Twisted Timbers has trees on the one side and the other is facing the park. I guess if I'm forced to pick one, I would give it to Storm Chaser. Even if it's kind of ugly to look at, there's more to see, I guess. The barrel roll drop. Both roller coasters replace the traditional first drop with a barrel roll down drop. It's a diving 0G roll that provides some nice whip and hang time. Comparing the two, I'd say that they're pretty identical. The biggest difference, Twisted Timbers rolls to the right, Storm Chaser goes to the left. I'm making this one a tie. Ride intensity. Being roller coasters by Rocky Mountain Construction, these coasters are littered with intense moments of airtime. Twisted Timbers has more moments of strong airtime, but the most intense moment between both roller coasters is found on Storm Chaser. That trick track double up element is going to put your lap bar to the test. After a couple rides, this element was starting to bruise my thighs. Storm Chaser overall feels more aggressive with the snappy turns and sharp pops of airtime. Twisted Timbers has some of those same elements, but with over 3,300 feet of track, by the time you reach the end of the ride, it starts to lose some steam. While Storm Chaser still has some more gas in the tank when you slam into the brakes. Storm Chaser earns this point. Originality. Neither Storm Chaser or Twisted Timbers is the first to utilize the downward barrel roll. That belongs to Medusa's Steel Coaster at Six Flags Mexico. Both coasters are kind of typical for RMC, they don't stray too far out of the norm. Twisted Timbers has the cutback, but only performs right-hand turns. Storm Chaser doesn't really have any original elements, but it was the second coaster to feature the barrel roll down drop. All in all, I think this category is a tie. Airtime. Both roller coasters have lots of airtime. Twisted Timbers has more because, well, it is longer by like 600 feet. Storm Chaser has more intense moments of airtime, which I already discussed with that trick track double up. Twisted Timbers may never reach that same level of intensity like Storm Chaser, but having more solid moments of airtime and variety, I think Twisted Timbers has the slight edge over Storm Chaser. It's a very close battle because I love every airtime moment on Storm Chaser. Twisted Timbers has more variety. You get some floater, ejector, short pops of airtime, and more sustained moments. Storm Chaser has a few strong sustained moments and those sharp pops of airtime with a double up, but it just lacks the amount of airtime. Being a few hundred feet shorter is the disadvantage here. Twisted Timbers takes this point. Pacing. Being shorter may be a disadvantage in the airtime category, but not for pacing. Storm Chaser is a well-paced roller coaster that never loses its steam. Unlike Twisted Timbers that feels almost like it's out of juice when you roll into the brakes, Storm Chaser comes charging back into the station, ready to perform a couple more elements. Pacing goes to Storm Chaser. Best inversion. Let's see here, Twisted Timbers has 3 inversions, the third being the cutback. Storm Chaser has 2 inversions, the same as the other 2 on Twisted Timbers with the barrel roll down drop and the 0G roll. Some might categorize the overbank turns on Storm Chaser as an inversion because it does get pretty close to being an inversion. But overall, I think this is a tie. The cutback is a snappy inversion on Twisted Timbers, but the 0G roll is better executed on Storm Chaser. I think it washes out in the end, making this a tie. Okay, the final tally comes to Storm Chaser with 6 points, Twisted Timbers with 7 points, making Twisted Timbers the winner in today's duel. Both roller coasters are elite attractions by Rocky Mountain Construction. Even though Twisted Timbers won the duel, I wouldn't argue with you if you say that Storm Chaser is better. Storm Chaser is the more aggressive coaster, while Twisted Timbers is just an airtime machine. I mean, the triple bunny hill is clear evidence to that. So what coaster is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, click on the like button and subscribe. That way you continue to get more great content brought to you by Xtreme Thrills.